Have you ever noticed that the more you depend on something or someone, the more fear creeps into your life? This dependency creates a constant worry about losing what you rely on. It's a subtle but powerful force that shapes our actions and thoughts. The key to true fearlessness isn't about building up your confidence or putting on a brave face. Instead, it's about finding genuine freedom within yourself. When you're not attached, when you don't feel you have something to lose, fear naturally fades away. Let's explore how dependency and fear are connected, and why freedom is the real solution. Many people believe that confidence is the cure for fear. But in reality, confidence often acts like a mask, hiding the true fear underneath. It's like taking a pill that only relieves symptoms temporarily, while the real issue remains untouched. You might feel better for a moment, but the fear is still there, quietly growing in the background. Instead of trying to cover up fear with confidence, it's important to understand where that fear comes from. Only then can you address it at its root and find lasting peace. Fear isn't something to be medicated or ignored. It's a signal, a message from within that something needs your attention. When you feel afraid, don't rush to cover it up or distract yourself. Instead, pause and ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? Often you'll find that it's not the situation itself, but what you think you might lose, your image, your sense of worth, or the approval of others. By understanding fear, you can begin to see it for what it truly is, a sign of inner dependency. True fearlessness isn't about standing tall with clenched fists or showing the world how strong you are. It's about not needing to prove anything to anyone. When you have nothing to lose, there's nothing to fear. This kind of fearlessness comes from within, from a place of freedom and detachment. It's a quiet strength, not a loud performance. Let's shift our understanding of what it means to be fearless. As long as your mind is focused on gaining approval, validation, or a sense of identity from the world, you'll remain trapped in fear. The world's opinions and judgments start to live inside you, controlling your thoughts and emotions. This inner occupation makes you vulnerable, always worried about what others think or say. The more you seek approval, the more you give away your power and peace. You might think you're afraid of people or situations, but what you're really afraid of is the damage they could do to your self-image. Your sense of worth becomes tied to how others see you, making you dependent on their opinions. This dependency is the root of your fear. When your self-worth is fragile, every interaction feels risky, and every criticism feels like a threat. The more you focus on others, what they say, how they look, what they might take from you, the more empty you feel inside. This hollowness is a sign that your inner space is cluttered with worries and expectations. Fear thrives in this environment, feeding on your lack of inner clarity and peace. It's not a sign of weakness, but a signal that something within needs attention. Fear isn't your enemy. It's a messenger, letting you know that your inner world is cluttered and occupied by things that don't belong there. Instead of pushing fear away or trying to hide it, listen to what it's telling you. Use it as a guide to clear out the unnecessary attachments and dependencies that keep you trapped. When fear grows inside you, it often creates a craving for confidence. But this confidence isn't real strength, it's just a disguise. The more afraid you are, the more you try to appear confident. But this appearance doesn't bring peace, and it certainly doesn't bring freedom. It's just another mask, hiding the fear that still lives inside. Trying to look confident is not the same as being at peace. Performance, putting on a show for others, doesn't lead to real freedom. It only adds another layer of pressure and expectation. True peace comes from letting go of the need to perform and finding contentment within yourself, regardless of what others think. Confidence isn't the opposite of fear, it's the shadow that follows it. When you feel afraid, you try to compensate by acting confident. But this only keeps you stuck in the cycle of fear and performance. Instead of asking how to gain more confidence, ask yourself why you feel the need for it in the first place. What are you really trying to protect? Rather than chasing after confidence, pause and reflect. Why do I even need it? What am I hoping it will give me? Often, the answer is tied to a desire for approval or a fear of rejection. By questioning your need for confidence, you can begin to unravel the deeper dependencies that keep you stuck in fear. When your inner world is clean and uncluttered, you don't crave confidence. You don't need it. Your mind is no longer a dumping ground for the world's expectations and judgments. Instead, it becomes a place of peace and clarity, untouched by praise or blame. This is the foundation of true freedom. Your inner space should be your sanctum sanctorum, a sacred place where the world cannot intrude. Let the noise and chaos remain outside. Within, there should be silence, clarity, and purity. This inner sanctuary is where you find true strength and freedom, untouched by the ups and downs of the external world. Within your inner sanctuary, there must be silence. This silence isn't just the absence of noise, but the presence of clarity and peace. When your mind is quiet, you can see things as they truly are, without the distortions of fear or desire. This is where true freedom begins. Clarity and purity are the hallmarks of a free mind. When you're not swayed by praise or blame, when your self-worth isn't tied to external validation, you experience a deep sense of peace. This purity allows you to move through the world without fear, because nothing can touch your inner sanctuary. Whenever you feel fear, trembling, or even hope in the presence of another, whether it's a person, object, or situation, remind yourself, I am feeling this only because I am being dependent. I need not depend. I am free. This simple mantra can help you break the cycle of dependency and fear and return to your inner sanctuary. All fear arises from dependency. When you recognize this, you can begin to let go of the attachments that keep you trapped. It's not about becoming indifferent or uncaring, but about finding a deeper sense of freedom within yourself. The less you depend on the world for your sense of worth, the less power fear has over you. Don't settle for shallow confidence that only covers up your fears. Instead, aim for true freedom, a state where you no longer need to prove yourself or seek validation from others. This freedom is not about isolation, but about being whole and complete within yourself. Freedom is the real antidote to fear, not confidence. When you are free from dependency, you don't need to act confident or hide your vulnerabilities. You can simply be yourself without fear of judgment or rejection. This is the essence of true fearlessness. Often we try to control our environment and the people around us in an attempt to feel safe. But this control is an illusion, and it only deepens our dependency. True safety comes from letting go of the need to control and trusting in your own inner strength. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a sign that you are open and honest with yourself. When you stop hiding behind confidence and allow yourself to be vulnerable, you discover a new kind of strength, a strength that comes from authenticity, not performance. Seeking validation from others keeps you trapped in a cycle of fear and dependency. When you let go of the need for approval, you reclaim your power. Your sense of worth comes from within, not from the shifting opinions of the world. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. When you are detached, you can engage with the world fully but without losing your inner peace. This is the secret to living fearlessly and freely. When you live from the inside out, your actions are guided by your own values and clarity, not by the expectations of others. This way of living brings a deep sense of freedom and fearlessness, because you are no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. Fear and confidence often chase each other in a never-ending cycle. The more afraid you feel, the more you try to appear confident. But this only deepens the cycle, keeping you trapped in a constant struggle. Breaking free requires a new approach, one based on freedom, not performance. Inner clarity is the foundation of fearlessness. When your mind is clear, you can see through the illusions of fear and dependency. This clarity allows you to act with wisdom and courage, rather than being driven by anxiety or the need for approval. Expectations from the world can weigh heavily on your mind, filling your inner space with clutter and noise. Letting go of these expectations creates room for peace and freedom. When you stop living for others, you start living for yourself. Let the world remain outside your inner sanctuary. Don't let its noise and chaos invade your peace. When you maintain this boundary, you protect your clarity and freedom, no matter what happens around you. Silence within is not emptiness, it's strength. In this silence, you find the power to face any situation without fear. You are no longer swayed by the world's opinions or your own anxieties. This is the heart of true fearlessness. Purity of mind means being untouched by praise or blame. When you are pure within, external circumstances lose their power over you. You can move through life with grace and confidence, not the shallow kind, but the kind that comes from true freedom. Whenever you feel fear, trembling, or even hope in the presence of others, recognize that it's a sign of dependency. Remind yourself that you don't need to depend on anyone for your sense of worth. This realization is the first step toward freedom. Freedom isn't something you have to earn or achieve. It's a choice you make every day to let go of dependency and live from your own inner clarity. The more you choose freedom, the less power fear has over you. Dependency is a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken. Start by noticing when you feel afraid and ask yourself what you're really depending on. With practice, you can let go of these attachments and find a deeper sense of peace. Fear can be a gift when you use it as a guide. It shows you where you are still dependent and where you need to let go. By listening to fear, rather than fighting it, you can transform it into a source of wisdom and strength. Transforming fear isn't about becoming fearless overnight. It's a gradual process of letting go, clearing out your inner space, and building a foundation of freedom. Each time you face your fears with clarity, you become a little more free. Living without fear doesn't mean you never feel afraid. It means you don't let fear control your actions or decisions. You acknowledge fear, understand its message, and then choose freedom instead. This is the path to a truly fearless life. When you stop performing for others, you reclaim your energy and attention. You no longer waste time trying to impress or please. Instead, you focus on living authentically, guided by your own values and clarity. Freedom brings a deep sense of peace. When you are free from dependency, you are no longer tossed around by the world's opinions or your own fears. You can rest in the quiet strength of your own being, knowing that nothing can disturb your inner sanctuary. When your inner space is clean and free, you don't need confidence. You don't need to prove yourself or seek validation. You simply are, and that is enough. This is the ultimate freedom, living without the need for masks or performances. The journey to freedom is ongoing. Each day, you have the opportunity to let go of dependency, clear your inner space, and choose peace. With each step, you become more fearless, more authentic, and more at ease with yourself and the world. Simplicity is a powerful ally on the path to freedom. When you simplify your life, letting go of unnecessary attachments and expectations, you create space for peace and clarity. This simplicity makes it easier to live without fear. Being present in the moment helps you break free from fear and dependency. When you focus on the here and now, you stop worrying about what might happen or what others might think. Presence brings you back to your own center, where true freedom lives. Freedom isn't something you have to achieve, it's your natural state. When you let go of dependency and clear your inner space, you return to who you truly are. Fear falls away, and you discover the peace and strength that have always been within you. To sum up, the path to fearlessness isn't about building confidence or hiding your fears. It's about letting go of dependency, clearing your inner space, and choosing freedom every day. When you live from this place of clarity and peace, fear loses its grip and you become truly fearless. Remember, freedom, not confidence, is the key.